I'm Bob Campbell, and this is The Real Review. Now I'd like to talk about 2019 Novum Chardonnay. Owners William Hoare and Rachel Jackson Hoare are the force behind this wine. They just make two wines, Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, although they're not, they're quite likely to introduce, they're just a young firm, a young winery, and they're really going to introduce other varieties as they arise. So they're starting at the top, I'd say, with Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. They use only corks, which is kind of interesting in this screw cap dominated market. And they source grapes from family vineyards and some from very special friends, they describe them as. They aim to get the best fruit from a small pocket in a good vineyard. So they spend an awful lot of time prospecting for the right sort of grape supply. Demand exceeds supply. I went on their website and they were out of stock completely. So I'd suggest that if you wanted to taste any of their wines, you might have to join their mailing list and get a future vintage. Let's try the wine, and before I do, I just should explain this gadget on top of the bottle is a caravan, which is an ingenious American invention where it's got a cylinder of gas in the handle here, and we drive a hypodermic needle through the cork and into the wine, into the bottle of wine, and then put an inert gas of argon into the bottle under pressure, and that forces wine up this fine hypodermic thing and back out this little spout. So let's see if we can make it work. This could end in tears. It takes a while to get the wine out of it. That's probably all we need. They're very popular in high-end restaurants where you're able now to buy a taste of an expensive wine that would normally you'd have to buy a bottle. But and the wonderful thing about them is the makers claim that you can now take the caravan off the bottle, put the bottle back in your wine cellar, and do the whole thing again in another year, and it'll be just as fresh as normal. So fresh as it was never breached. Anyway, let's check this out. What an elegant sort of concentrated Chardonnay. I get peach, citrus, grapefruit, a little bit of hazelnut and sort of perhaps baked bread flavours. Lovely fruity acidity that really, once again, helps drive a lengthy finish. It's got purity and power and good potential. So that's quite an alliteration there. Purity, power and good potential. Lovely wine, very impressive. I rated it 95 points, and it was second out of 41 2019 Chardonnays from Marlborough, so that's right up the top. I asked William to come up with a food match, and he said it's our favourite variety to drink, so we pretty much drink it with all foods, but in general Chardonnay matches well with seafood such as scallops or light textured fish, chicken or even pork. Thanks, William, and thank you for the wine.